Okay, so this is a little video about positioning and aiming and the mix-ups that come from that. So there's this common idea that aiming can be perfect, like you can be an aimbot and just automatically snap to everybody's position. But when you're actually aiming at people because of human reaction time, because you have latency to the server, there's usually at the very least a fourth of a second of delay. So even on hit scan, where you don't have to shoot a rocket and then follow it up, even on hit scan, there's always going to be a little bit of prediction involved. So if you're moving around, that can change how much of a space that you need to go when you're in that quarter of a second. When you're closer, that range is wider. And when you're further away, that range is shorter. So if you move around a little bit, I only have to go a little bit in that quarter of a second. So when we get especially close, let me bring you up to a point even. When you get especially close, you actually can break their line of sight. So if you stay where you're at, around there, you can't see where I'm at all without having to move. And if you do that to me, just so they can see it on a bigger, yeah, you actually don't even have to go that far. You can only go, if you go to about here, I can't see anymore. And there I can barely see you. Yeah. So it's really easy to get out of there. So what you can do is if you're in a position like that where you can break that line of sight, I have to catch up to where you're at and then adjust. So not only do I have that quarter of a second delay before I can see you or before I can shoot where I think you're going to be, I first have to even get you onto my screen. So you increase how much space you have between them in terms of time. You know, I have to both catch up to you, make a prediction, and then go. And I don't have any information that I have until you're on my screen. I can't go, oh, I can see your movement. I think that you're going to go to the right, for instance. So what you can do is, let's say that I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to go around you, and then I'm going to shoot you a second time. We're going to see where we're at there. So let's just keep your mouse or your aim where it's at. So I get to about here. So you can look again where I'm at and then compare it to where you were at before. So you can say, okay, well, I assume that if he's going around me really quick, then I can just assume that he's going at his max distance, right? I can say, well, I know that I shoot here and then I shoot right there and I'll hit that. So let's try that again, and you'll track me this time. So I'll shoot you. So you're like a little bit off, but you're pretty much there. Let's try it a couple more times. So it's nice. And you want to do it to me, just shoot me, and then as soon as you can shoot the second time while you're strafing me, you'll shoot again. So let's try it again. There you go. Okay, great. So that solved it, right? We know we'll just hit that furthest distance. But what we can actually do is you can like the nod. We can actually do is you can stop. You go, well, I know I've broken line of sight. They're going to assume that I've gone as far as I can. So if I shoot you and then I go half of the way or just a little bit, you might overshoot and look way too far. And then if you do it to me, get really close to me so you can go even further. Nice. So, and then if you stop short, yeah, just hold down your mouse button so you're shooting as fast as you can while you're strafing me. Yeah. So there you start here, and you got to about there, maybe a quarter of the way. So what you can do is you can follow, and then when the person tries to turn a quarter of the way, you can stop about right after that. So they start to look, they move, and then they overshoot. So there's a little bit of an initial mix-up. So now we're kind of playing rock, paper, scissors here. We're going, okay, if I think that you're going to go long, I'm going to aim there. So what you can do is you can go short. Or if I think that you're going to go short, you can go really long and create even more distance. So we'll call that a level 1 mix-up. So if there's a level 1 mix-up, there's got to be a level 2 mix-up. So a level 2 mix-up would be if we can convince them that we're going to do one thing, not just play rock, paper, scissors, flip a coin, that kind of thing, but we say, I'm going to make you believe that I'm going to go one way and then I'm going to not. So let's see, this is, if you keep your mouse exactly forward, let's see where we're at. This is about edge of your screen maybe. So about edge of your screen, I can make it look like I'm going to go off your screen as if I'm going to go and then stop as if I'm going to go short. So I go like here and then I stop. So you go, oh, he's trying to trick me into going short. So I can stop, hesitate, and then keep going. You know, stop, go. And as a result, you can kind of go, oh, this person's kind of a scrub. They're going to try to hit me with that, but they don't know that I'm still can see them. So I'm going to, I'll hit them when they're short. And then when you try to hit me, boom, I'm already gone. So that's kind of a level 1 mix-up. Level 2 mix-up. You kind of go, I think that you're trying to trick me and I'm ready for it. But actually that was the trick. Another, you can do the opposite, right? So instead of going you can stop and then go forward. Well, you can go all the way and then double back. So if I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to go long, but then I'm going to double back. So I go boom. And then as you're correcting or possibly overcorrecting, I'm back to where I was or close to it. And you're still off balance. So if we think about increasing the amount of time that somebody's delayed behind you, almost as like you're in a race and you're creating distance between you, every additional mix-up gives you a chance to get them even further off beat. You know, create more time between what they want to do and what they're capable of reacting to. Let's see. Let me check my notes real quick. So we went over going short, going long. We've talked about pretending to go short and then going long. We've talked about going long and then doubling back. That's like a level 2. Level 3 could be adding even more layers to it. You can say, oh, I'm going to pretend to go long, double back, and then as soon as they think that I'm actually doubling back, you can switch it and stop where you're at, switch it and go even further, etc., etc. You can even do things, we're talking about breaking line of sight. Well, you can jump over somebody to break line of sight. You can go around a corner to break line of sight. All these things increase the amount of time that somebody has to increases that time distance between people. All those things, some of these get a little bit more tricky. If you try to jump over, somebody's head, well, if they catch you out on it, they can shoot you in there. You want to shoot me in the air. See how that launches me into the air. You can like really kill somebody and if they get caught in the air like that. So it's risky, but it increases the amount of mix-ups that you can do because it just makes it so much harder to react to. So you can kind of go infinitely with that, and as you get better and better, it's the subtleties of those mix-ups increase. But if we zoom out a little bit and we go, okay, well, what does that mean? Sure, I can go left, I can go right, I can make them think I'm going left, I can make them think I'm going right. But what this means is that the positions, if you keep staring forward here, a position like this, where I'm almost off your screen, or even there where I'm really almost off your screen, that's a really soft position. Like it's like a really soft part of their body that you can hit them in, because they have to make big guesses at this point. Here or here, you don't have to make big guesses. There's not a lot at risk here. You hit somebody for 4. You hit somebody there. You hit somebody for 50, but the risk is not that big. Here you could do 0 to 100. And so what you want to do is, especially if somebody's looking at somebody else, let's say that you're targeting somebody on point, and I can get right here, and you notice me. That puts an immense amount of pressure onto you, because you go, okay, I need to prevent this huge mix-up opportunity from occurring. And as a result, just one step further is that people will try to prevent you from getting into that spot. So as you get better and better, you can go, okay, well, if I'm going here, you're going to be really worried about me getting to there. So as a result, you're more likely to overshoot towards this. You're going to over aim towards this to prevent this from happening, or change your movement in order to prevent me from getting into this little soft spot right there. And just like that's my spot, you can see it on my body as the exact same spot, because we have, pretty much the same FOV. This is one of those reasons people don't talk about the importance of having really strong FOV, but the wider your field of view is, people just talk about it in terms of like, oh, because you can see more things that are happening. But actually what's great about it is that it increases the how much space before somebody can get into that soft spot of view. If I actually could only see, let's say, from there to there, you know, I'm really close in, I wouldn't even see you at this point, so I'd have to get even further, you know, more of the circle around my body is a dangerous spot to be in. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to stop with it. You know, just in summation, when you can't perfectly aim on people because you're not a robot, you have human reaction time, you have latency, and so the more that you move around and cause it to be something that becomes more and more predictive in terms of what's required of your aim, the better. And then some things that you can do to increase that is to increase how much distance their mouse has to move in order to cover. And the closer you are, the harder it is to fully track. And then when you can break somebody's line of sight, oh, now it's really hard to know exactly where you're going to go. So try to get into spots where you can break somebody's line of sight, where you can threaten that breaking of line of sight, because it will make people more nervous against you and cause them to make bigger swings that you can then exploit.